This is the fatherhood experience. Turn it up, cause tonight you'll learn how to leave behind the average dad life. This the fatherhood experience. It's time to lead my family and become the father figure I deserve to be. The fatherhood experience.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fatherhood Experience, where we help overwhelmed fathers build elite confidence through sustainable weight loss and mental toughness. We are your hosts, Jason Priest and Zach Smith, and we have a very awesome episode for you guys today. We just got back from Vegas for our third or fourth retreat. Had an awesome time out there, but also took some lessons that we want to share with you guys today. So thank you for tuning in. Before we start, if you get any value out of today, all we ask, man, just share the show, dude. Pass the show along to one dude in your life that you know it's going to help. We've had a lot of great feedback from you guys lately. Some of you guys have been emailing me personally. Some of you guys have joined our Facebook group because you found the podcast. I had a guy from Australia reach out to me yesterday, actually, talking about how he found the podcast, found the group, and he's so happy he finally found a home. That's what we're all about here, is helping you guys become the most elite version of yourself. And so if you know anybody in your life that you think would benefit from the show and the knowledge and inspiration that we're dropping every single week, that's all we ask, man. Just share the show. Help us out. Help spread our message, because we're not here to bore you. We're not here to waste your time or run ads or any of that nonsense. So today, Zach and I are going to be talking about a little bit about the retreat, but we were going to help you break through any limiting beliefs that you have in your life and give you really a clear path to doing that and our methodology around that, because the reality is Zach and I have both dealt with limiting beliefs throughout our lives. And we've reached a point where our mindset has just shifted to a place where it's something that we don't even get consumed with anymore. And so we want to help you guys be able to do the same. So, Zach, what's up, my man? We haven't seen each other for a long time, but I'm excited for this episode.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So speaking of limiting, my voice is limited, right? Coming from our retreat this weekend. So if I squeal like a fifth grade boy, or crack, forgive me, man. That's just.
It's all good, dude. Our audience knows that I can talk the shit out of the fucking microphone, so it's cool.
Yeah, you might have to do that if I can start squealing like a pig here, man. So just on that note, but man, besides that, dude, let's start off with the retreat, dude. It's always good to see the guys. It's always good to see. You know, every time we see them again, they shrink, but in the best way possible.
That's a good thing, right?
Better and better and better. It's so awesome, man.
They go from grapes to becoming raisins every time we see them at the retreat.
But in a good way, right?
Sure.
We don't mean these guys are getting old.
No, they're getting healthy, they're getting fit, they're getting in shape, their mindset shifting. So we had a few new guys this time, and we had some veterans there. And I'll tell you, man, like I'm you know me, I'm a nature guy, and that was my first time going to Vegas and being able to explore a little bit. I've been to Vegas for a business event, like I've told you before. I did the whole stay in a mansion and drive around in Lamborghinis, and it was cool. But I'd never done any of the outside stuff. And one of our big components of every retreat that we have is spending some time in nature. Our men don't get enough time off the grid. Most of our guys are busy dads. They're fucking working nonstop, trying to take care of a family, trying to take care of kids, and be an active participant in their children's lives. And the reality is breaking away and getting into nature is something that all of us are desperate for more of. And so I was most excited about the Red Rocks hike because, dude, I'm not, I live in Texas and I'm a desert guy, but we don't have that kind of desert. And so that was the highlight for me.
Pretty flat there, right? It's pretty flat there in Texas, right?
Yeah, we don't have the hill country that we have here is what you've seen when you come to Canyon Lake, right? That's about as hilly as it gets here. So little rolling hills. They're certainly not mountains, but by any means. But dude, like that's serenity to me. And seeing our guys, I loved hearing the feedback from them, desperate for more physical components in our retreats, because we historically we've done a lot of mindset stuff, and we do some games and stuff, some fun stuff. We've done our little cornhole tournaments and stuff. We do the boating and all that, but getting to get out and have a physical component, and really put my mindset in a place where I'm not staring at a computer screen. I think the only time that I took my cell phone out during that entire hike was to snap like about 6 or 7 pictures, and then that was it. I didn't look at my phone the rest of the time, and that feels really fucking good, man.
Yeah, what I like about that, the feedback that we got from some of these guys longing for physical activity is they would have never said that. The first retreat, maybe the second one, but this one being the third one, they were like, hey, we want more physical activity.
Yeah.
Before, they were just like, I don't do physical activity.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's awesome to see the transformation happen, right? So that's why we want to talk about these limiting beliefs, because sometimes people get stuck in a certain belief system, right? And where does it stem from? So, and before you even talk about all this stuff, man, I want to ask you, limiting beliefs, everybody has them, right? Some more than others, but where do you think limiting beliefs come from?
They come from your own mind. They come from you. And we talked about this a little bit in our class last night, the glass ceiling kind of deal, where it's like, we as humans, we have a tendency to not believe in ourselves. I'll talk a little bit about this is kind of an off the wall example, but I will use it because I think it's valuable for our audience. So there's been a couple of times where me personally, before you and I partnered together, made investments in the business. There's been a couple of times where you and I had, since partnering together, have made investments in our business. And I will tell you that it's never super exciting to spend 10 grand or 15 grand or 20 grand on something business related when you're not 100% sure of the ROI right off the bat, right? Like, could that money go towards other things with the business? And so when you buy something, make a big purchase like that in the business world, it's a little scary. And the reason I bring that up is because, generally speaking, my own limiting beliefs come from the lack of belief in myself, right? It's not that I'm scared to spend the money, because I know that, like, generally speaking, you and I have done we've taken some lumps along the way, like most business owners do, but generally speaking, we vet our people pretty well. We want to get a little bit of background from them. I'm not going to come in and drop 10 grand on you if I don't have a little bit of knowledge on what you can do for us, right? Because this is a partnership. Just like we tell our guys in the Fatherhood all the time. It's a partnership, dude. We're going to roll our sleeves up and get to work with you, but you got to show up each and every day. And so for me, the limiting belief that has always come around making an investment in myself or the business or however that looks is always the lack of belief that I'm going to show up and do the work. And I think that carries through in a lot of different areas in life, because one of our guys brought it up last night in terms of his business, right? His lack of belief in himself was always the reason why he never took the plunge and actually started his business. And now he has put in many, many years of grunt work, and now he's doing really well. And so I think when it comes to limiting beliefs on a health and fitness level, on a business or a career level, on a relationships or your intimacy level, it all comes down to you placing that glass ceiling on your head because they said it's not possible, or the beliefs of others around you, or like you start to doubt yourself because you're like, well, shit, man, I could never have that amount of money, or I could never make that amount of impact in the world, or I could never have the 6-pack abs, right? We start feeding ourselves that, and then our subconscious mind starts to believe it, and then you start losing belief in yourself. And so for me, like, it's about doing the hard shit when you got to do the hard shit, right? And just trusting the process, because who out there needs to have that difficult conversation with their wife? Who out there needs to make that investment in their business to take the step further? Who out there needs to take action and get their ass to the gym on Monday and just suck it up, buttercup, and start making results or excuses, because there's only one way to go, right? And so I think a lot of limiting beliefs come from our lack of belief in ourselves, and then also letting those external voices that literally are meaningless in our lives start to cloud our judgment, that lead to an even more of a lack of belief in yourself. So I think it's multifaceted, but that's that's kind of my how I define it. About you?
Yeah, for sure. And you say the voices that don't mean anything, that the external voices that don't mean anything. So I want to take it a step further, because I feel like limiting beliefs, I mean, yes, everything you said 100% true, multifaceted and all that good stuff, but I think it stems even further back to when we're growing up, because those voices that you're saying don't mean anything, guess where you're hearing it when you're growing up? And those voices do mean something. They actually mean
the educational system, public educational
system, your parents, your older siblings, the cousins that you look up to, that you like sleeping over at their house. All those voices, when you're young and impressionable and don't know better and haven't matured to become your own personal self with your own critical thinking abilities, your own identity, you're very impressionable, man. So a lot of these limiting beliefs, in my opinion, stem from everything that you learn and have been told growing up as a child.
Sure.
Specifically from your parents, because your parents are our first teachers, right? That's what my wife teaches or preaches. That's what I say all the time. And that's what I believe, man, because kids are just going to believe anybody that is an authority figure, right? which is
generally speaking, yeah, they're a sponge, and they're taught be obedient, right? Get in this line, follow this, don't do this, do that instead, right? It's always this order taking mentality, right?
That's what scares me about our school system is that once you get into the school system, you get funneled into a single file line to become a worker bee, right? You start to lose your creativity, you start losing critical thinking skills, and it's funny because they try to teach critical thinking. There's actually classes for critical thinking. It's like, what a minute, you guys should allow critical thinking as part of the curriculum for every class, anyways. Besides like math, for instance, where the answers are finite, right? But anything else, there should be open interpretations so that they could practice their critical thinking skills. It
seems like that's a thing of the past in this country, dude.
It kind of is, man. It's very unfortunate, man, because a lot of teachers will say, hey, you got to do it this way or you're wrong. And then they'll pass out the paper. And when you have a D and your friend has a B or an A, you're just like, shit. Now you're automatically comparing yourself to others. Now you start dealing with things like imposter syndrome. Now you start, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just very bad for the psyche in general, man, for us to be funneled in this way and then be automatically naturally compared to other people, whether we like it or not, because we see what they get versus what we get, and they're told that we're a failure or we're successful. They don't talk about the good in what we did. They talk about how you overall failed, and that leads people to just have lack of belief in themselves. So what happens? These voices that shouldn't matter start to make, it's the only thing you can hear. It's the only thing you hear, and it's sad and it's unfortunate, man, because people have so much potential, but you kind of get shut down, and you're I don't want to say you're unable to, because you're 100% capable of it, but that glass ceiling that you're talking about, man, all these external voices, all these people telling you got to do it this way, not that way, you're wrong, I'm right, you'll never make it, and all these other things, these limiting statements literally make you feel like you don't have that potential, and you're like, well, that's just the cards I was dealt, and this is my life now. It's sad because it's not true at all.
It's this level of acceptance, right, where you're like, I'm just this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to live my life. It's sad because there's a huge portion of our population that falls into that category. It's this fixed mindset, right? They develop this, and we've talked about it on other episodes where it becomes harder and harder to break some of these habits and trends. Once you're 40 plus, right? It's you settle in like, this is just who I'm meant to be. This is who I'm supposed to be, without ever, with you lose the risk factor, right? And it's like, what challenges me about the education system is that these poor kids are taught, you gotta grow up, you gotta listen to your teacher. You can't challenge any of your teacher's thought processes, because that's, you got to be in this obedient line.
Now you're a smart ass.
Or
you're a smart ass.
Right. And the problem is that the problem I have with that is that, like if it's a math problem, there's one answer, right? But if there's a math problem and my kid believes it's a different answer, and he wants to challenge you on it and says, well, like, this is how I got it. Can you help me out here? There's no there's no open for interpretation. And I'm not here to tell you that 2 + 2 = fucking 5 or whatever or 2 + 2 is racist. This thing that we had going on.
Oh man, I've heard that one. I don't even want to
fall into that nonsense at all. But
I don't get it.
I don't, the public education system now is meant to march these people out, send them off to college, rack up a bunch of debt, live off the, become dependent on the government. And now you're one of their pawns. You're into their system, right? And now the government controls you essentially, because you've got 60, 80, 100,000 in debt. You can't ever pay it off. You go get a job. You're looking for the government assistance, right? Because now you're struggling. And most people go down that path. And there are so many people out there that have a shit ton of potential, but because they did poor in high school, that's how they start to believe, right? It's like, if you don't do good in high school, or you don't do good in grade school and high school, then you're just a failure. And you and I both know, I'll fucking throw out Andy Frisella for one, did shitty in school. And now he's built himself a true empire, right? And so, owns a shit ton of companies. And so I hate that these kids are being channeled through public education system. And when they get out there, if they didn't crush in high school, they're told they're a failure. They got no hope. You might as well go fucking work at Starbucks the rest of your life, right? Think about limiting beliefs. You are indoctrinated into a system of limiting beliefs. And in order to break through that glass ceiling, you got to do your own personal development, because they're not doing that for you in school. They're not working on your personal excellence. They're not talking about how to manage money. They're not talking about taxes. They're not talking about actually balancing forming a budget and working a bank account, right? And they don't tell you that going out and getting your fucking $700 a month truck payment that you can't afford, but you want to drive the fancy truck, is going to put you more and more in debt, right? It's this like toxic mentality when you channel through school. And so I think that's a big portion of it. But let's shift gears and talk about the path forward, because a lot of guys that listen to this show, especially, They went to school when you and I went to school, and things were a little bit different, right? Things,
oh yeah,
we didn't have porn in school, for one. We weren't talking about mutilating people's genitals because they wanted to be a boy when they're 7.
At 15, yeah.
Or talking about removing a girl's breasts at 15 because she's all of a sudden an adult, and right, and the amount of those surgeries that have nothing but horror stories around them, and the people coming back and be like, I'm a fucking man and now I don't have a penis. Like that shit breaks my heart, dude, because that's all the school system, that's all the parents, that's all the social bullshit that we have going that led that person down that path at a dark time in their lives. And now they live with nothing but regret for the rest of their lives. So anyway, all that shit mixed up. We don't have that. We didn't have that back then. I remember you and I talked about this on an episode not long ago about when you go and watch like the sex video when you were in 7th grade or something, right? When they showed you like the video and all, you and your friends were all excited about it. And that was like the little bit of sex education that we got, right? It's like this one video, talked about the birds and the beads. You had some questions for your parents. Then you start French kissing girls and you try to start advancing your base, right? From first to home.
Right.
So that was what we grew up with. And that's not the case now. But I want to shift gears and talk about a path forward, because the reality, man, is if you get consumed, like I think there's a fine line between, and you and I've dealt with this a lot, you know that, but staying in touch with what's going on, but not letting it consume your life. And I think if we consume our lives with the negativity, it's going against exactly what you and I teach. And I've had to pull myself out of that own little rut many a times. Today's November 9th, right? So you and I had a brief election discussion before the show, and now I'm moving on, right? I'm not going to allow that to consume my life because it fucking weighs on my mental health. So what is the best path forward to starting to discover your true self and breaking through the glass ceiling that we talked about?
So I think the best way to get rid of limiting beliefs and get past that glass ceiling is to surround yourself with other people who don't have that glass ceiling or who want to be better than that and know that there's more to life than just what everybody says you have to do.
Right.
If you can find your tribe, that is going to naturally eliminate some of these limiting beliefs, because now you truly have people in your corner who are rooting for you in public and have your back behind closed doors, because we all know that that's something that's very real too, man. People love to see you do well, but once you start doing better than them, they're mad. Yep. Now they're salty. Now they're talking shit behind your back, because everybody wants to see you do good until you're doing better than them. They're like, why them? Why not me? You know, so you gotta, think about it like this, right? The law of osmosis, right? Osmosis is being pretend in the body, right? There's high sodium one area, water in another area. It's going to equal out. It's going to equal out. Literally everything in life is like the law of osmosis. If you surround yourself with people who are not growth minded, they're fixed minded, they have that glass ceiling, guess what? That's going to naturally start filtering into your own belief system as well. But if you surround yourself with people like, say, like me and you, right? If some people start hanging out with me and you, they're going to start realizing that the sky is truly the limit, and they can attain and achieve anything they want
because we believe in them more than they do themselves. Yeah.
Yes, you have to be around people who believe in you more than you might believe in you.
Yes,
because that's how it starts, and then that's how it happens, man. That's when the snowball effect starts happening, because once they start putting in the work, they're like, well, Jason and Zach said it's actually possible, and these guys have done it. So let me go ahead and do it too. So now the guy who's 400 pounds ends up becoming 200. They're like, dude, I would have never thought that was possible without you guys. Now, guess what happens? They get the opportunity to help others overcome their limiting beliefs too, because they've done it. They become a force for good. They
get to pass that, play that, pay it forward.
Yep. Yes. And that's the way that the world works, man. But just like the law of osmosis, like I said, dude, we could do it negatively or we could do it positively. We're here to try to make a positive impact on the world. And we're trying to make sure that that people start thinking more like this. And it's definitely an uphill battle, man, being in today's society where information is so accessible. But the problem is misinformation spreads 6 times faster than the truth. It's very, very, very hard. We're definitely fighting an uphill battle here, Jason. But the reality is everybody does have unlimited potential, but they just need to be around people who understand that and they live by that, so that people can actually start to believe in that. So for me, you got to surround yourself with like-minded individuals going through the same thing as you or who want more, and you guys egg each other on to be the best that you can be.
Yeah, and I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. I think, and I think that's certainly one of the main catalysts for our guys in the fatherhood. Being able to lean into other guys that are growth minded, and then, like we talked about it last night, dude, you guys they're all surrounded by winners. Nobody here is going to doubt you because they're here to try to get better as well. And so I agree with you, but I want to take it a step further here, because there's a lot of guys out there because we've talked about this before as well, is like most guys don't have meaningful connections, meaningful relationships, friends in their lives, right? They don't have other dudes in their lives that they can share this with. They don't have their guys that they can get emotional with, that they can have heart-to-heart conversations with. It becomes very a challenging and almost awkward scenario because, you get married, we'll call it settle down, you have your kids, you get your house, you start this family, and now you're over here, right? You're not with your buddies anymore. And that man time starts to become fewer and far between, especially if you're a guy that is not in the drinking crowd, right? Like if you don't have a bunch of drinking buddies who are going out every Friday and Saturday night, well, now you probably even have less connections, right? Because it's just not that common. And so I want to talk about ways for those guys out there that might feel isolated. They might feel lonely. They might feel depressed. They might feel that disconnect because right now, dude, like I said, yesterday we had the elections. Our country seems to be, at least if you listen to what's in the media, which a lot of people do, it's divided, right? Like they want us divided. And I go out into the community and I don't see that. I go out into a Walmart or a Kroger or, any of the grocery stores I go to, my kid's school, my son's daycare. And there are people from all walks of life there. Blue, black, white, green, purple, whatever color you want. And I'm holding the door for them. They're giving me the smile. They're returning the favor. And so I don't believe that we're anywhere near divided if we took the middleman out, being the media and the politicians trying to divide us, right? And so how does somebody that is feeling isolated, is feeling lonely, and doesn't have that sense of connection, how can they get more of that in their lives? And be able to surround themselves with other men who are leveling up and who want them to level up just as bad as they're trying to level up.
Well, you got to join a group of people who are trying to go through this, that are going through the same thing with you and want to achieve the same thing, like the fatherhood, right? Shameless plug. That's literally why there's a community component to what it is that we do, right? There's plenty of health and fitness groups out there, but there's not plenty of health and fitness communities that are true communities. There are
groups,
Facebook
not
groups.
communities.
There may be groups. Yeah, exactly. There might be a pool of people, but a pool of people isn't a community, right? We have a community. I very often say we're called the Fatherhood, but we are a brotherhood. Yeah. Everybody we're from all different walks of life, all different parts of America, all different circumstances, all different ages, all different everything, but we are all the same.
Some vote blue, some vote red, some are black, and some are white.
And we don't care. And we don't care because we don't judge people by the color they represent, like political gangsters here, right? We care about the character of that particular person. And if they were a piece of shit, first and foremost, they're not getting in the fatherhood, right? No. But anyways, going back to the initial point, you have to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, man. So if you want to, so here's an example, right? There's people out there, their limiting belief is, there's no more good guys out there, or there's no more good girls out there. They're all whores. Well, stop looking for girls at the club. Stop looking for guys at the bar. Because if you want to attract a certain kind of guy, you got to go to a certain type of place. Remember, law of osmosis. If you're a dramatic individual, you're probably watching dramatic shit. So that drama is naturally coming into your life. And now you are that person, like it or not. As much as you might try to consciously deny it, it is in you. It is in you. So you have to surround yourself with other people who are going through the same thing with you, or have achieved what it is that you want to achieve by means of getting coaching, mentoring, joining their community. And make sure, emphasis on community, not just a group of random ass people who don't even engage or talk to each other whatsoever, because that serves no purpose. That's like living in a neighborhood and knowing absolutely none of your neighbors. That's not a neighborhood. That's just a clump of houses. Yep. You want to be in a home, not just a house. If this is starting to make sense for some of you guys listening, you got to be around people who are going to push you towards your goals, man, because going through it, is it possible by yourself? 100,000%. But is it significantly easier if you're around people who are going through it with you? Also 1,000%.
Yep, no doubt. And what's funny is, I go back and I look at my own journey, right? And I'll go with the health and fitness. I talked a little bit of business a while ago. So talk about the health and fitness component here, man, because I remember I started it alone. And as I'm sure you did too. And we've talked about it many a times, but dude, like I remember my wife started making some comments to me, right? And I was, dude, I'll just call it what it is. I was a loser when she was in pharmacy school. I was the director of nursing at a nursing home in Abilene, Texas, about 3 hours from Dallas. And we lived there for a full 4 years. And for the first 3, dude, I just lost my mom. We moved off to a strange place. I met a couple dudes that like to get high and get drunk, and that's what we did every day. We fucking played golf. I'd go to work. I'd get off. I'd go straight to the golf course. I bet you I was playing golf 4 or 5 times a week, like actual rounds, and then playing and hitting thousands of balls every single week, because one of the dudes that I was hanging out with, his dad owned a 9-hole golf course, which it was fucking sick, dude. It was a lit.
That's cool.
Yeah, lit though, lit
Ooh,
at night.
ooh.
So we would go play night golf, right? So it was phenomenal, dude. Like you'd go there. I'd go there at fucking 6 or 7 o'clock. If it was a Friday night, I'd be up there till 1 a.m, dude. Just go playing as many holes as we wanted on this course, hitting as many balls as we want, drinking beer, hanging out, and having a grand old time, right? But you do that 5 or 6 times a week for fucking 3 years straight, probably not going to be your healthiest physically or mentally. Probably going to be tempted to go grab the fast food a hell of a lot more because you're playing golf. I don't have time to go home and make a meal.
Smoking and drinking, you don't want to. You're gonna want something quick and easy, full of fat and carbs.
Disgusting fast food. Yeah, it mixes well, right?
Yep.
So I say all that because at that time, man, like my wife made a couple of comments like, "Hey, you want to do something? You're not getting smaller, right? Your waistline's growing a little bit." And dude, I was struggling, man. Like I had no energy. I was running off fumes, because think about that alcohol coming home and I'm going to bed. Like I'm not sleeping very well, right? So this vicious cycle started happening. Got the gut and the man boobs, and finally was like, dude, she was like, "Hey, I love you. I love you for who you are." But we were not on good terms at this point, because I was trending in the wrong direction. And she was in career mode, dude. She was in pharmacy school, right? So she's very all the time busy, fucking doing her thing. And here I am, I'm a wastoid, right? I have a good job, and that's about it. And so I remember when I first started trying to work out, I listened to those comments and I was like, you know what? I'm better than this. Like I got to break out of this rut, because I was a high school athlete. I did play soccer for 15 years. I was always in great shape until my mom passed away and I started getting hammered every day. And so I remember starting it out, dude. I would go sit on our curb with headphones in for 20 or 30 minutes at a time, trying to work my way up to going on this 1.5 mile jog. There was a lap around the neighborhood, 1.5 miles. My goal was to do that 3 times a week. That lasted about 2 months. And I was like, holy fuck, this hurts every time I do it. My knees do not like this. My lower back does not like this. I'm sure my posture was awful. And so it was not a recipe for success. And I'm like, I gotta do something else. Like running is not going to be it for me. And I'll be honest with you, dude, I don't think running is the recipe for any obese man out there, because that constant pounding on your knees and your ankles is not going to help you stay inspired or motivated to go back and do it again, right? Yeah, you can establish the discipline, but if it fucking hurts every time, it's hard to get disciplined to work through pain that you experience every job. So my wife was like, "Hey, I got this gym membership. Really nice gym. I'd love for you to, why don't we go do a class or something together?" Okay. So we go and do a spin class. Dude, I fall in love. And it had nothing to do with like the cardio high or any of that part. I fell in love because there were a group of people in that spin class that started asking where I was when I didn't show up, right? I go for about 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and we were averaging 4 times a week, sometimes 5. And so fucking a lot of cardio, and it started getting to the point where these people were like, "Well, like, where are you at, dude? Hey, you've been gone the last 2 days. If we went out of town or something." And that sense of belonging, right? People call it accountability all the time. And, I believe that we need to hold ourselves accountable, but it was that sense of community, that sense of belonging, that sense that someone else cared that I wasn't also winning with them because they felt so good. Where was Jason at the time, right? And that little piece of human emotion is extremely powerful for motivation, inspiration, building momentum, any of that. Because when you know that somebody else cares about you and your progress just as much as they care about their own, or at least that's the perception that you get from their conversations, dude, like that'll light a fire under your ass real fucking quick, right? When you lack motivation and these people are saying, "Where are you at, dude? We're here. We're crushing. Where are you at?" And I think that's a component that that we really have to drive home, because there are places out there in the community that you could get involved, right? You could go and join a gym and do some classes. Great way to get involved. You could go on to social media. Generally Facebook is where we're going to find the Facebook groups. But like you said, a lot of them are littered down, right? Our LP60 group, there's some great guys in there. There's 6,000 guys and it's a free group. And so there's a decent amount of engagement at times. But could you come into that LP60 group and truly feel a brotherhood with 6,000 guys? Maybe, maybe not, right? Depends on how much you leverage it. For me, it's about finding a small group, right? Like you like to say all the time, rather have 4 quarters than 100 pennies. It's about finding a close-knit group that you can rely on when times get tough, because adversity is going to kick you in the face. And when you got guys there to lift you up, again, the community component, there's nothing more powerful in my opinion.
Nope, not at all, man. Not at all. That's the strongest form of accountability that you can have. I like to say very often that the support from your spouse, the support from your kids, your peers, your coworkers, your cousins, your relatives is all good. It's great. It's awesome to have people.
You need those people in your corner.
You need them. But what's more important are people who are in the trenches with you, right? Because everybody else is support you, but they're on the sideline. They're clean. They're not dirty. Your ass is face down in the mud, trying to climb out of a hole that you've been in for a long time because you had limiting beliefs that stemmed from maybe your childhood, maybe a traumatic experience, maybe a teacher who told you weren't shit and weren't going to amount to anything. You're never going to make it into college sports. You'll never make it as a professional. You'll never make it into an Ivy League school. People hear these things all of the fucking time. I've heard people
maybe
tell me
my
that
whole family was obese and I'm meant to be obese. Correct. Right? That's another one.
They put their own shit on their own selves. They put their own mental weight on their own selves on top of their own physical weight. I talked to a guy. So actually I had a call with a guy, Jason, and you didn't even know this, like 2 days ago. And he told me, I told him, so why now, man? What's going on here? And he told me that, well, my family is just a group of a bunch of fat rednecks. And that's what we are. And that's what he said. That's what we are. And I was like, dude, do you realize that this is your opportunity to not have that belief system anymore? Do you realize that this is your opportunity to literally change the trajectory of your entire family tree for the rest of your bloodline?
It's on you, dude.
Yes. I said, you have a responsibility not only to yourself, but to your spouse, because I'm sure your spouse doesn't want to be with somebody who's growing like a balloon, and to your kids, because you have to be here long term. You need you need to live a long life, and you need to live a quality life with your kids, being in the trenches with them, coaching them, but not just coaching them, playing with them, participating and doing the things that they want you to do with them versus just being on the sideline.
An active
We have a responsibility. Yeah, we have a responsibility, man. You have to be an active participant, man. We owe it to not only ourselves, but everybody that we care about, man. So I told the guy, I said, look, you have a responsibility here. You told me that you guys are just a family of fat rednecks. That's literally what you told me. And I'm like, dude, you have to do this. I said, you have to do this. You don't understand. You've forgotten what it's like to be in great shape. He's like, yeah, well, I feel okay. I'm like, well, you feel okay because you're used to feeling like shit. That's not okay. That's just what you're used to feeling like. That's your new standard. You've lowered your standards. And now that has become a limiting belief because you've justified it by saying that your family is just full of fat people anyway. And that's just the way it is. It's not. That's not. You need to be in the trenches. You need to join a community of other people in the trenches trying to crawl themselves out of the hole that they put themselves in with those types of limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs will be the downfall of any single person. Limiting beliefs is what's going to make you be on your deathbed, looking back on your life, wondering why it sucked so bad, why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that. I should have did this. It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's absolutely terrible, man. Community is huge.
It almost becomes like a disease, right? It's like, because
it is,
you meet these people with one limiting belief and they usually go pretty deep because, again, it stems from those external sources that cause us to think one way, and then the lack of belief in ourselves. And the more time goes on, the more that compounding effect happens, right? It's like, okay, well, like I start to believe less and less and less the more that I tell myself these things, right? But I start to believe more and more and more the more that I fuel my mind with the things that I need to hear, right? Which is why we're so big on the gratitude and the wins and all that. This is totally random, but I wanted to share this, dude. And I just it reminded me. You know who Andrew Tate is? Yes, heard of this guy?
Yeah. I haven't seen too much into it, but that's the guy that's everyone keeps calling misogynistic and all that stuff.
So this, the thing is Andrew Tate has a very interesting view on motivation, which a lot of you've heard something similar like this. But I think I'm going to play it because I think that I think it's good for the audience to hear this, because you and I we don't come off as harsh as this, but dude, we're aligned with his messaging, right? And so
let's hear it.
You're not going to be motivated to do things that you don't want to do.
So then, Andrew, how do I do it? Like, how do I do it?
People who train every day don't want to train every day. They are not motivated to train every day. They are something else. Motivation is the wrong word. They are not motivated. They are disciplined.
Andrew, are there ever days where you don't feel like working out or you don't feel like doing work?
Every fucking day, I don't feel like doing things that I still do. It's called discipline. It's called being a man. It's not about feeling like doing it. If you only do things you feel like doing, you know what you end up doing?
What?
You end up sitting around with a belly drinking soya fucking latte bullshit. That's what you end up doing if you only do what you feel like doing. You have to wake up and say, I don't feel like training, but I must train. You need to do what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like fucking doing. That's the difference between a man and a fucking child. You do not become a man doing what you feel like doing. You become a man doing what you're supposed to fucking do. It is your duty to not be a fat piece of shit. But you fucking it up.
Pretty powerful, right? It's your duty to not be a fat piece of shit. I love what he says about doing what you're supposed to do, doing what you want to do, right? Like that's that whole comfort zone thing. I got the chills listening to it because I know that you and I are very aligned with that. We just don't come off that harsh because we're compassionate dudes, because we do believe in men more than themselves. And so if you and I came off like that, it's like, oh, fuck. Like, I want to get away as far away from that guy as I possibly can, because he's going to hurt my ego a little bit.
A little strong, a little strong, but
the message is clear.
He's right. He's absolutely right, man. What's the difference between a person that does what needs to be done and a person who just does what they feel like? It's fucking child.
100%.
That's the truth.
Child mentality.
Literally nobody can disagree with that. You could like the guy or not like his views or like his views,
totally
but you can't objectively say what he said right there is wrong, whether you think it's harsh or not, right? It's the whole Trump, we'll call it the Trump effect, right? Yep. Trump he just said the objective truth, and people just don't like to hear, and they call him mean because of it, right?
Yep.
All that guy did was tell you guys the truth.
Yeah.
Like it or not. You might not have liked his tone. You might not like the word that he used.
Yeah. Or his tact. There things about him that I hate 100%. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you know what? You can't deny that fact that men do what needs to be done, not what they feel like doing. Because if everything that we felt like doing, Jason, me and you wouldn't be recording this right now.
We'd be fat pieces of shit sitting on the couch, fucking living on, dude, all kinds of medications.
Day drinking, chilling, getting them, practicing escapism in any and all forms, not going to the gym,
going to a corporate job we hate.
Yep.
That's exactly
or even still trying or being worse and trying to find a way to leech the government's money or whatever the hell like that, right? We don't do it. We don't do what we feel like doing. We do what we know needs to be done. Because going back to what I said, it is our responsibility as men to do what needs to be done, regardless of how we feel. Especially if you have a spouse, especially if you have children, especially if you have people that you take care of and look up to you. You have to do this. Don't be the person who is born and put on earth and you leave this world worse than when you came on.
Yep.
Everybody's absolute goal should be to make the world a better place.
Yep.
And if you're not able to do it directly by your own actions, do it by training the next generation in a way where they're able to do so. Plant those seeds and let that sprout when they grow up, or do something directly yourself, right? It's like a lot of those people who say, oh, I'm for this right and that right. Okay, well, why don't you donate $100 right now to that cause? Oh, I don't have money.
Yeah,
bullshit.
You're for it, right?
Bullshit. Yeah.
Your minimum duty as a father is to lead by example and not be a fat piece of shit, like he said. Now, I would never call somebody that. I think it is harsh, right? But that is his message is spot on. And so when we talk about limiting beliefs, if you need some inspiration, you put that fucking thought process into your head and say, you know what? It's not about me and what I want to do. It's about the greater cause, about the greater good. It's about me leading by example for my children. It's about me inspiring my neighbors, my community, my coworkers, my boss, or my employees. However that looks, because there are fat people all around you, right? There are overweight people that are struggling all around you. And if you simply be the catalyst for their change by deciding, you know what, I'm not going to do what I want to do anymore. I'm going to do what I need to do. It's a totally different mentality. You're operating out of a place of, it's not the immediate gratification. You're operating out of a place of the long-term vision here, which again is showing up every day and leading by example for everybody in your life. And that's really the ultimate goal. So let's I want to shift gears one more time because I want to hit on we'll circle back to Vegas, because I want to talk about how we can be limitless. And I'll we could talk a little bit about Shin Lim. Zach and I took our retreat guys to a magic show. And when Zach first told me about it, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'm in. You know, I'm not done that on the Vegas Strip. And I went in with I was cautiously optimistic whether I was going to enjoy this or not. And dude, I go in, and this guy literally blows my mind. And I think you can say the same. The trick that he did with the fucking cards, where we came in and like you saw the little 4 cards on your seat, right?
Yep.
Everybody has a pack of, and I'll explain it. So everybody has a pack of 4 cards on their seat when you come in. And pretty quickly,
wait. Should you say the trick? What if somebody over here listening wants to go watch that show after this episode?
You might think I'm blowing the trick.
Fuck it. You know what? Skip the next 3 minutes if you're gonna watch the show.
Yeah, pause the next 3 minutes if you want to go see.
You have been warned.
This is just one trick. Okay, so I'm not giving the whole show away, and it will still blow your mind even though you hear it. Okay, we all are given 4 cards, and I didn't spy on everybody's cards, but I'm pretty sure they were all different 4 cards because everybody had an arrangement of like, I remember that the card that everybody ended up with was different than mine, or at least the people that were sitting next to me. But he had you take out the 4 cards, and we're thinking we're going to do a card trick with them. And he tells us that right off the bat, just rip them all in half. So I rip them all in half, and I've got a bunch of half cards in my hand. Now I've got 8 halves in my hands, and he's going through his little spiel, and he starts telling you to throw each half of the card one by one over your shoulder. And so we get down, and then like randomly 4 or 5 cards in, he's like, all right, take this card and put it in your pocket. And then he's like, all right, take the next one, throw it over your shoulder, throw it over your shoulder. At the end, he's like, all right, what I want you to do now is look at the last card that you have in your hand that you did not throw over your shoulder. And I want you to take out the card that you have in your pocket right now and tell me what you see. Literally, there was a gasp from the audience because I pulled my 2 cards out and they fucking made a king. All right. Both of those cards fit together. They were the 2 that I fucking ripped in half, and they fit perfectly together. I was literally mind blown by this. All right. So you can unpause now if you want to watch Shin Lim. But dude, that right there, like I was like fully bought in after that. I was like, holy fuck. But the premise of this story is he is very big on being limitless. And I will let you share. You shared a little bit more details with the guys last night. So I want to let you share what his challenges were because he defines being limitless.
Yeah, so Shin Lim was a guy, and I'm not like an expert on his biography here.
Yeah, yeah.
He grew up wanting to perform classical music, specifically on the piano. And he was growing up, and people were comparing his skill level to that of a late found prodigy, I guess we can say. Yeah. He was very good. He was very good at what he did. The problem is, at the age of 20 years old, he was actually diagnosed with carpal tunnel syndrome. So it was like, oh, crap. And at this time, he was also delving into a little bit of magic. I don't know. I forgot what the reason was. We'll say for fun. It doesn't matter. It's not the point. So anyways, he had to choose. Do I want to continue classical music or do I want to continue my magic? And he said,
and the classical music was going to be a very big uphill battle because of the carpal tunnel. Like it was going to be because they told him, dude, you're out unless you do like some major surgery or something like that.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. So he was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to do this magic stuff because he's already at this point in time, he's able to make his own tricks already. He was already messing around with a few other tricks. He's like, you know what? Worst case scenario, if I can't perform this magic because my hand's too messed up, I could sell them. So he was selling some of his tricks to some magicians around the world. And he had some decent success with that, I'm going to assume. And he's like, I guess I'm just going to do this. But then what happens, fast forward later, he gets very, very good, but he severely injures 2 tendons in his left thumb, I believe it was, to the point where he had to get surgery. So his situation just got even worse. And they told him that he would never, ever be able to perform magic again because he relies heavily on cards. He is more of a cards magician kind of guy. So that's 100% pure sleight of hand. For those of you who don't know sleight of hand, it's about doing shit quick so that the eye can't keep up with how the hands move. Now, the problem is his hand is in a state of debilitation, I guess we can say, and he has to perform surgery and he's never going to be able to have that functionality again. However, he said, no, I'm going to continue to train. I am passionate about what I do, and I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be able to do what I want to do. And I'm going to make this shit happen. You're not going to tell me I'm not going to be able to do this again. So he trained. Ended up doing a competition. I believe it was in China. I forgot what it was at this point,
yeah,
Jason. But he ended up getting like 6th place, right? He ended up getting 6th place. Again, he's like, shit, am I good enough for this? Like, what am I doing here? I've been training so damn hard. I've dedicated my life to this. I've given up my classical piano, career for this. What the hell? But instead of folding like most people would at that point, after dealing with so much adversity, carpal tunnel, the tendons in the thumb, having to get surgery, saying he'll never be able to perform magic again, then getting sixth place, instead of quitting, he did that shit again. He did that shit again. And he kept going on show after show after show. And eventually he won. So pretty much the premise of the entire show is he brings us through the process of his entire life story and how what led up to this particular moment in time where he was able to perform for us in front of everybody, an audience of about 1,300 people or so.
Yeah, I think it was like 12. Yeah.
It was because he worked hard at what he was passionate about, and he didn't let anybody else tell him what was possible, regardless of the circumstance. And he said that I am limitless, and so are all of you. Mm-hmm. So we love that message, because one thing that we love to do on our retreats are help people identify limiting beliefs and come up with game plans to help them overcome that. Let them know that they're in a group of individuals who are gonna, we don't accept that. Mm-hmm. We love you for who you are, but we'll never accept you for who you are also at the same time, because we know there's more. And if you want more out of life, go for it. So we love the message of that show. And I knew it was called Limitless, and I kind of had an idea of like, what it was about, but I didn't know he was going to wrap it up in such a way that just, it was so in alignment with what it is that we teach our guys. But it was a great show. And the bottom line is, he said, you are limitless. And we say that to our guys all the time. And it was literally just like a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And not to mention, it was a great show.
Yeah. But that stamp on it, like, really put that nugget in our guys' minds. Like, hey, dude, like, you're going home and you're getting smacked in the face by reality tomorrow, and it's time to get to work. Right. And that's just it. It's like life is about hard work. Anything in life worth doing is hard. Right. Like, that's just it. It's like, you gotta realize that you're in control of removing that glass ceiling. But dude, you summed it up well, dude. That whole show and the way that he brought it all together was phenomenal. So you guys need to go check out Shin Lim. Gave him a little advertising there. Because as if he needs it, right? That guy's fucking crushing.
Man, no kidding. His show sold out.
Yeah. But this was a great episode, dude. I think we went a lot of different angles here. Anything you want to put out there before we close shop for the day, man?
Yeah, man. So I just want to challenge everybody to just find those people. And we did this with our guys too, man. But I think it's important to share this with everybody listening in general, man, because really the only way you're going to overcome limiting beliefs is by surrounding yourself with others who don't put a glass ceiling on you, psychologically speaking, right? So try to find the people in your life who truly, truly, truly want the best for you, regardless of how much further, quote unquote, in life they get versus you. Mm-hmm. Try to find the people who are slowing you down. I like to say people are either engines or anchors, right? You want the engines in your life, the people who are going to propel you forward. You need to cut the rope with people who are your anchors. So identify the people who are slowing you down, the people who are talking shit behind your back. Cut them loose. And just cut them loose, man. Just absolutely cut them loose. Now, I know there's not many people out there who have, like we talked about earlier, like you touched on, right? They got the boys. They have the boys, but they don't have men in their life who they can be vulnerable with, who they can express what their true desires are in terms of what they want to accomplish without the feeling of being criticized.
Judged criticized. Yeah.
Judged. I highly urge you, very, very much so, if this is you, because trust me when I say it's very hard to do it by yourself, because I've done it with people around me, and I've done it myself. And when you're around other people, it's 5 to 10 times easier. So if you're one of those people who are having a hard time, I mean, shout out to like Brian Owens, for instance, right? Who just showed up to our retreat, first timer, new guy. He's one of those guys. He said, dude, I don't have people in my life who think the way you guys think, who do the things that you guys do. And this is what I need. So if you're one of those people, man, check us out.
Come find us. Go into the show notes.
Go to the show notes, man. Go to the show notes, click on one of those links, talk to one of our team members, man. And we'd love to have a conversation with you and potentially welcome you to the Fatherhood, man, because we are a group of winners. Yep. And winners come in all shapes and sizes, guys. So don't think that you got to be 200 pounds ripped and lean in order to join our group. Winners it's a state of mind. It's about people who are pursuing their true potential. We all have different points. So my final thought is this: we all have different starting points. We all have different circumstances. We all have different paces, and we all have different journeys and roadmaps, but we all have the same potential. Just like Shin Lim said in his show, we're all limitless. All you need is a good plan and a certain amount of time. You stay consistent, you're going to win.
Hell yeah, dude. Can't agree more, man. Well, you guys, that was a great way to close out today. I got nothing to add. That's the mic drop moment, dude. Go into the show notes or go find us over in our Facebook group. Right now, you can grab our free 60-day program. Go over to the Fatherhood Experience /LP60. If you go do that, dude, just get your mind in the right place. Go grab that free challenge. You'll get on our email list. You'll be able to stay in touch with us and see what's going on. We do a newsletter every Sunday to give you a snapshot of what's going on in the Fatherhood Experience world. But go join our group, man. Go grab your free 60-day program. And most of all, if you got any value out of today's show, share the show with one man in your life that you think will also move forward because of today's episode. Go crush it this week, and we will see you guys next week. Take care.